Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and this is your stimulus check update for the next stimulus package for Saturday, December 26th. I hope everyone is off to a good and safe start to their Saturday so far. In this video, I'll be discussing updates in regards to the current relief package and the second stimulus check. I'll also be discussing what President Trump and other lawmakers are saying about this entire situation. And then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you wouldn't mind real quickly liking this video, give me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so on Christmas Day, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said that he met with President Trump for a round of golf. After their little get-together, Graham said that he now believes President Trump's proposal to increase the direct payments up to $2,000 per American is the right decision. In a tweet, Graham said, "After spending some time with President Trump today, I am convinced he is more determined than ever to increase stimulus payments to $2,000 per person and challenge Section 230 big tech liability protection. Both are reasonable demands, and I hope Congress is listening. The biggest winner would be the American people." I guess though, if Donald Trump really wanted these direct payments to be $2,000, it would have made some more sense to make this known during the negotiation. And even though we heard President Trump come out on various occasions demanding bigger checks, I guess lawmakers never really took his words that seriously. President Trump also spent his Christmas Day on Twitter as well, posting that he made many calls and had meetings at Trump International in Palm Beach, Florida. Why would politicians not want to give people $2,000 rather than only $600? It wasn't their fault, it was China. Give our people the money. So it seems at least President Trump's threats to not sign the current relief package may be serious after all. So unless he has a swift change in his thought process over the next couple of days, this whole thing may very well just fall through. The sad part here is that Americans were supposed to receive these $600 direct payments next week, but instead we may not receive anything at all. With that said, there are a few different outcomes that may come out of this. First off, if President Trump decides to veto this bill, it's very possible that Congress may override his decision. In order for Congress to override a presidential veto, they need to have 2/3 approval in both chambers. So, in the Senate for example, at least 66 senators would need to vote yes. Since Congress approved the bill originally by more than 2/3 that they would need, they should be able to override the president if it comes down to it. However, it's hard to say for sure whether or not we would see these same senators who voted yes the first time around to also vote yes the second time around as well. For example, during the vote in the Senate, Lindsey Graham voted yes on the combined relief package and government funding bill. However, since we're now seeing Lindsey Graham and other Trump allies support the president in his fight for $2,000 checks, in addition to removing other wasteful spending, it's quite possible that they'll change their vote to no next time around. Josh Hawley, another close ally to Trump, is also in support for the increase in payments, so it's likely he may change his vote as well. In a recent tweet by Hawley, he said, "Donald Trump is right. Workers deserve much more than $600, as I have repeatedly said and fought for. And there's obviously plenty of money to do it. Look at what Congress threw away on corporate giveaways and foreign buyouts. Let's get it done." So, if enough Republicans in the House and the Senate get behind President Trump and change their votes to no, then they may no longer have the 2/3 majority that they would need to override the veto. If this happens to be the case, not only could it hurt Americans by not receiving anything at all, but it could also come back to really hurt Republicans as they have an upcoming runoff election in Georgia, which will play a huge importance over the next couple of years. We have sort of an interesting dynamic going on in the Republican Party, with so much divide in their own party. Donald Trump feels that many Republicans are stabbing him in the back by not backing him in the fight for the election. In a tweet the other day, Trump said, "Republicans in the Senate so quickly forget. Right now, they would be down 8 seats without my backing them in the last election. Rhino John Thune, Mitch's boy, should just let it play out. South Dakota doesn't like weakness. He will be primaried in 2022, political career over." Now, the second possibility is that Congress isn't able to override the veto, and then Congress is forced to amend the current combined package to increase the amount of direct payments up to $2,000, in addition to removing all the wasteful foreign aid spending. If they're able to do that and pass it through both chambers, then most people will consider the president a hero in his final days, pulling that off. However, being that most Republicans oppose increasing the direct payments up to $2,000, and then most Democrats oppose removing the aid to foreign countries, it's unlikely they'd be able to pull that off. So, in that case, if they can't override Trump's veto and they aren't able to amend it to make it better, it's quite possible we may not see any relief at all and the government will end up shutting down. And that's what brings me to the last scenario where I believe Trump carefully considers the situation, sees that things are only going to get worse if he doesn't sign with no chance of an amendment, and decides to sign off on the bill as is. Starting today, unemployment benefits have officially expired for around 14 million Americans, as the programs for those on programs such as PUA and PUC have come to an end. And at this point, even if President Trump does sign off on the bill, it will still take at least a few weeks for those payments to start going out once again. This means that either way, around 14 million Americans will see a lapse in their benefits. So, with government unemployment for those on PUA and PUC expiring today, and the government shutting down on Monday, we're going to have a real rocky week ahead. On Monday, the agenda is set, where House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will force lawmakers to take a recorded vote on $2,000 stimulus checks for Americans. Now, more than likely, this bill will pass, being voted on in large part among party lines. We'll see pretty much all Democrats vote yes on it, with the majority of Republicans rejecting it. Even with the upcoming vote, House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer has been urging Trump to sign the current bill as is. So we'll just have to wait and see how everything unfolds over the next week or so. In the meantime, all we can continue to do is hang in there, stay strong, and hope for the best. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to move right along to answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you do have any other comments or questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to answer as many of the comments and questions as I possibly can, but for those comments and questions I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the first comment of today's video, which is from Joe. Joe says, Josh, would child support take the second stimulus check? Okay, thank you so much for your question, Joe. And as far as the next round of direct payments, if President Trump signs the current relief package, then child support will not be garnished this time around. If you remember, for those with past due child support in the first round of payments, the IRS was garnishing the checks. However, this time around, it's different as the IRS is no longer going to be garnishing the payments. Additionally, if you owe back taxes to the IRS or other debts owed to the federal or state government, they won't be garnished either. Okay, moving right along to the next question of today's video, which is from Sherelle. Sherelle says, do adult dependents receive the second stimulus check? Okay, thank you so much for your question, and unfortunately, even if Trump does sign the current bill, adult dependents will not be receiving a single dime. Even though it looked like originally adult dependents would receive something, in the end, they decided to drop it altogether. So it's pretty disappointing to see adult dependents get shafted again. However, since it's quite possible that Congress may need to amend this bill completely in order for President Trump to sign it, it's quite possible they revise it to where adult dependents will be receiving something for the second round. With that said, I'll definitely make sure to keep you updated one way or another. Okay, moving right along to the last question of today's video, which is from Terry. Terry says, I claimed my adult son on my 2019 tax returns as he was finishing his college work, so he got shafted on the first stimulus. He has now worked full-time for most of 2020 and will claim himself. He did file a return for 2019, but it showed he was claimed as a dependent by someone else. Will he be able to claim any deduction when he files his 2020 tax return? Okay, thank you so much for your question, Terry. And yes, if you decide not to claim him on your 2020 tax return, and nobody else does either, then he'll be able to claim credits for the amount of stimulus payments he missed out on. So when he goes to file his tax returns next year for the year of 2020, as of right now, he can claim a $1,200 credit for the first round of payments that he missed out on. Then, if Trump decides to sign off on the current bill, then he'd be able to claim an additional $600, making it $1,800 in total. Again though, he'd only be able to claim the credit if you decide to no longer claim him in the future as a dependent. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so, and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive 4 free stocks from Webull, with 2 of them valued all the way up to $1,600 each, please feel free to claim those free stocks by clicking the link in the description box below. And finally, if you join Rakuten with my referral link in the description box below and spend at least $20, Rakuten will give you $20 cash back. This means that you can buy an item through Rakuten with one of the referral links, such as Nike or Adidas, for $20, which would be right around $22 after tax, and Rakuten will give you $20 just for making that purchase. This is just an incredible deal that I would love for everyone to take advantage of. Okay, so until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.